Good morning, Meridian Township. My name is Pat Jackson, and I am your supervisor. I'd like to welcome you today to our newest effort to inform you, our residents, about the news, activities, and happenings in Meridian Township. Good Morning Meridian will come to you twice a month on home TV. Your host will be our Township Manager Frank Walsh. We hope that it informs you and you enjoy it regularly. Let me introduce Frank Walsh.
Thank you, Supervisor Jackson, and hello, Meridian Township. Yes, we're hoping to bring you the news of Meridian Township twice a month as a goal to enhance our communication with all of the residents. And speaking of that, for those of you that may be new to Meridian Township, our township's about 45,000 people, borders on the south end on Jolly Road, to the east on Meridian Road, to the north on Saginaw Highway, and to the west around Hagedorn. We share a common border with Michigan State University. The first thing I'd like to talk about today is some of our services. Many of you may not know, but most of the customers in Meridian Township receive their water from a jointly owned plant with Meridian Township and the City of East Lansing. Wastewater services are through the City of East Lansing, with Michigan State University and Meridian Township being the customers. And our population is around 45,000 people. I'd like to first start talking and congratulate 3 members of our police department. We've recently had police promotions. Taking over in the lieutenant position is former Sergeant Curtis Squires. Our new sergeant recently promoted Lorenzo Velasquez. And also, the Township Board approved the recommendation of myself and the committee to appoint Rick Grillo as our new Chief of Police. Chief Grillo has been with us for approximately 20 years and will serve this township in an exemplary way. Let's talk about deer management. This is a program that's been around since 2011. It's a combined season with archery and firearms. Archery in the fall, and on January 1, it turns to firearms. The program is sanctioned by the DNR. It has been very successful for the past 13 years. Recently, last year, the township did a survey to find out what do the residents think of our deer management program. And 81% of those responding supported the deer management program. As of early November, we've taken approximately 90 deer in the program, the archery program, and we hope to commit another donation of approximately 7,000 pounds of venison to the local food banks. We feed a lot of people through the deer management program.
Hi, my name is Emma Campell. I'm the Land Stewardship Coordinator for Meridian Township, and I also run the deer management program. This is an absolutely incredible program. It involves both our community and our township working very hard together to run a highly managed, highly efficient program where we place about 67 to 70 hunters each year. So this year we have 68 volunteer hunters who are residents of our township, and then we place them at over 44 different township properties. It's archery only, so their season goes from October 1st to January 1st. So we're mid-season right now for the program, and we are at 100 deer harvests. We meet with the DNR every single year, and we have big management discussions with them to decide where we go with this program and what is going to be healthy for our deer herd. One of our main goals with this program is to reduce deer car collisions, of which we've seen over a 35% decrease in those since 2020. So right now we have also donated about 1,100 pounds of venison. And so that has been a really integral part of the program that we introduced in 2020. And we have a very hardworking employee, Mike Ellis, who hand delivers all the venison to local food banks. So we have about 13 to 15 food banks locally that we give to, and they are very much in need of a sustainable protein source. And so this is a great relationship that we have. We donated about 9,000 pounds in total last year. So this is a very important part of our program. Even though the season does end in January, we do have our police call, which happens about the week after that the archery program ends. And what the goal is here is that we have 300 permits that the DNR has recommended that we fill. And so whatever our archery program and our very hardworking hunters don't get to, then our police come in and they are able to fill the rest of those permits. They go out from 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. during the week, and they're focused on areas where our deer car collisions are at their highest densities. They're trained by USDA sharpshooters, so we're utilizing the same program there that a lot of communities use. We just have trained a small team of police officers to initiate that, which is really nice because they know the community really well, so it's a really unique and important part of our program.
For those of you living in and around Park Lake Road, there's a rezoning request in front of the township for Redwood Living. It involves 224 feet of frontage on Park Lake Road, about 9 acres. And this project was recently in front of the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission has made a recommendation to deny the rezoning request for this multifamily development along Park Lake Road, just north of Grand River. If you're interested in this project, want to comment on this project, this development or rezoning recommendation for the Planning Commission will be in front of the Township Board on November 21st at 6 p.m. Again, a rezoning on Park Lake Road, approximately 9 acres, Redwood Living. So come to the meeting on November 21st at the Township Hall if you wish to comment on the development. You can also do so at board@meridian.mi.us.
Hi, I'm Tim Schmidt. I'm the Community Planning and Development Director for Meridian Township. Wanted to talk to you briefly about a proposed development that we've been reviewing located on Park Lake Road just north of Grand River Avenue. A developer has been looking at constructing single-story multifamily units on the property. The request in front of the Planning Commission was for rezoning of the property. The northern third of the property is zoned single-family residential, while the southern third is zoned multifamily residential. The developer is proposing to rezone the northern third of the property to multifamily residential with a series of conditions that would limit the development on the site. First, approximately 14 acres of the site would be undeveloped and set aside, as it is wetland, floodplain, woodlands, items that they don't want to remove from the site. Secondly, the property would be limited to single-story units, and it would be limited to 106 units, which is less than the current density permitted under the zoning in place right now. Staff recommended approval only because of the conditions of approval that were being proposed by the developer. The Planning Commission, in their review of it, heard from a number of neighbors to the north and to the west with concerns about traffic, density, and other issues. In their review of the request, the Planning Commission recommended denial to the Township Board due to a series of factors, most notably that it was not specifically in compliance with the master plan, which calls for single-family uses on the site up to a specific density. The applicant is proposing to meet that density with the conditions they've approved, and the matter will be reviewed by the Township Board at their next meeting. After that, the Township Board can choose to approve or deny the rezoning request. After that, if it is approved, the project has a number of other items it has to go through before any construction begins on the site, including review by the Ingham County Road Department, the Ingham County Drain Commissioner's Office, and the Planning Commission, again, will review the matter in the future. Community Planning and Development Department is happy to answer any questions on this or any other project that you might have. Just give us a call or shoot us an email. We're happy to help. Thank you very much.
Let's talk about the MSU to Lake Lansing Pathway, a project that's been in the making for several years, and we're nearing completion of Phase 1 and Phase 2. This pathway, when completed, will take you from Shaw and Hagedorn area of the university all the way to Lake Lansing. You'll notice a big addition to this development with a new pedestrian bridge just north and east of the Shaw and Hagedorn area. And we will be cutting the ribbon soon on this new phase. And it's going to be a great addition to the township as you'll be able to meander from Michigan State University along the banks of the Red Cedar all the way over to beautiful Lake Lansing.
Hi, I'm Niles Nun, Senior Project Engineer for Meridian Township and in charge of the MSU to Lake Lansing Connector Trail. The current project, part of what you see behind me, is Phase 1 of the larger project. I'm very excited to see this project finally becoming a reality after more than 7 years of work. It's been a monumental undertaking, including our partners at the county and at the state of Michigan, as well as dozens of property owners, contractors, and consultants coming together to make this project finally a reality. Although it has taken quite a while to reach this point, I'm incredibly grateful to the entire team that has come together to make this project possible. As an avid cyclist myself, I'm very excited to be able to use this wonderful addition to our trail system, and I really look forward to seeing all of the activity that it will undoubtedly generate.
Police and fire staffing. This remains to be a top concern of the Township Board and the community. It's also a concern among the entire state of Michigan and throughout the country. There just are not enough police candidates to fill the current vacancies, not only in Meridian Township, but throughout the state, throughout the country. Meridian Township has sworn, which 42 officers is what's in our budget. We have not reached our capacity for officers in the last decade. And currently, we're at almost an all-time low of 31 officers. We have 4 or 5 in the police academy, but it takes time to get from the academy to the on the road.
Hi, I'm Chief Rick Grillo. Speaking of recruiting has been extraordinarily challenging for our department and departments all out throughout the state, especially very recently. There are less recruits that are in the police academy, and some of the recruits that do apply here aren't qualified for our agency. So we've taken several measures over the last few years to, attract quality candidates that meet our standards. Speaking of standards, we do have very high standards for our officers. Not just anybody who walks through the door or who applies is qualified to work for us. When it comes to training our officers, we have a very extensive field training process to make sure that whoever it is that we have hired is able to do the job in the manner that we expect them to do the job. So some of the things that we've done throughout the past few years is we've really leaned on our cadet program to develop a pool of candidates that we are familiar with and that are familiar with us. And we've actually been very successful in hiring our past candidates from our cadet pool. So, and the police academies are pretty full right now with candidates. However, every single candidate that is in the police academy, generally speaking, is sponsored. So we are sponsoring multiple candidates through the police academy. As of today, I have 4 candidates that are in the police academy, with 2 more scheduled to begin in January. So we are making good progress in attracting the candidates that we, that fit our needs and that fit our standards. And we continue to look for candidates that are going to fit our needs. As of today, we are about 10 people short of where we should be. However, I think there's good hope for the future when I look at what we have, the people we've already committed to, and hopefully getting some more quality candidates throughout the year that we can train and put out on the road.
Hi, my name is Mike Hamill, I'm Fire Chief in Meridian Township. One of the things we've been working on over the last 3 years is recruit and retention within the fire department, within the township in general. With the fire department, we hire paramedic firefighters, and since 2019, there's been a pretty significant decline across the country in paramedics. And so what we've had to do is change the way we recruit, where we are now hiring EMTs and sending them to paramedic school. And you have to keep in mind that there's many fire departments and private ambulances that are in the same realm of trying to find these paramedics to sustain a business and to take care of citizens when they're in need. So as we move forward, we continue to recruit paramedics, but again, we also will send people to about a 16-month paramedic training program. And then that gives us an opportunity to work with them while they're in training and help get them through the program. It's a pretty tough program. And then what we do is we try to change our culture a little bit to be able to create an environment that is really family orientated and gives someone a good career, 25 years with a good retirement and an option to really be able to take care of their family. So, moving forward with this decline in paramedics, we just continue to look for the right people and do our best to to work together with our community, working with other fire departments and sharing resources. As the decline is, it puts a hamper on our ability to respond. And so we continue to try to move forward in finding new opportunities for recruiting and then new opportunities retention. And more retention things will be coming next year that really will support a good culture, good job, and working for a great community.
The Community Senior Center. This is a project that you're probably hearing about in the community, and one that's going to take us time to eventually determine where the community wants to go. We've been working as a task force for the past several months on the who, what, where, and why of a community senior center. We all know that with the development of Okemos schools, the current senior center, which is located in Chippewa School on the very north end of the community, is going to be going away due to the development of Okemos new schools in the next 3 to 5 years. With that comes what's next for our seniors, and that's a big question. And recently, the township received a $5 million grant from the state of Michigan to help spur this decision and this development. One of the new additions that you may see as far as parks is the new playground equipment at Marshall Park. Marshall Park is located in Hazlet, north end of the community. And if you go by Marshall Park, you'll notice the playground equipment is pretty aged and is in need of a massive upgrade. The Parks Commission, which by the way is a 5-member elected body, elected by you, the residents, and the Township Board, the 7 members of the board, which are elected every 4 years, are working together in a cooperative and collaborative way to find a way to, 1, get the resources, and 2, make a plan for replacement of equipment at Marshall Park. This will be in front of the Parks Commission and the Township Board later on in the month of November. Another great improvement by the township. Local roads continue to be a huge issue in the township, but the good news is we're making great progress. Back in 2019, the voters approved a $1.9 million increase for 10 years to fund local roads. We have approximately 153 miles of roads in Meridian Township. And to date, we've reconstructed, over the first 4 years of this 10-year bond, we have reconstructed 35 miles of new roads. That's a total reconstruction. We've also did some preservation work on approximately 56 miles of roads. So we've touched over 90 miles of our roads. We have 153. Let's hear now from Dan Opsimer, our Deputy Township Manager and Director of Public Works, who oversees this project from start to finish.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Dan Opsimer, Deputy Township Manager and Director of Public Works and Engineering. We are right out on site of Wellington Estates, where we reconstructed all of the roads through the neighborhood this year. In total, in 2023, we completed over 28 miles of road work on the local road program. And since the inception of the program in 2020, we have now completed over 35 miles of reconstruction and about 55 miles of preventative maintenance work. We appreciate the community's continued support and patience as we work through a very long list of roads that still need to be reconstructed, but we continue to make progress each and every year. As you can see on this road, we did a full depth mill and completely paved a new 4-inch road here in Wellington Estates. And we will be unveiling the 2024 road program in February after we receive our bids in January. Again, we really appreciate everyone's patience. Please contact us if you have any questions regarding the local road program, and thank you so much.
Let's talk about pension liabilities, something that's not a real popular topic to talk about, but long-term legacy costs are really affecting communities across Michigan. In Meridian Township, we're in much better shape than most communities when it comes to legacy cost. But let's remember, a decade ago, our pension system for the police and fire departments was only 56% funded. In 2017, the community approved a millage to help us bring more firefighter paramedics, more police officers, purchase a ladder truck, and increase our pension status and funding status going forward. I'm happy to report, after just a few years, our pension fund which used to be in the mid-50s, is now 74% funded. We have made great strides by paying the required contribution plus a substantial amount more into the surplus fund to raise our funding position. Meridian Township Board, our residents, we have kept our promise to pay down our pension debt, and we have reduced our overall pension from the $45 million mark to about $27 million just over the last 10 years. So paying down our debt is a huge improvement for this township going forward, and we'll continue to chip away at it as we go forward. One of the more serious issues that's affecting Meridian Township, our schools, families, is the pedestrian safety in front of all of our schools. I think most of us know we've had a couple of close calls. We've had actually a couple students hit over in the Bennett-Kinawa area along the Okemos schools. As we go forward, this is a significant issue that's receiving a lot of collaboration between our police department, school administration, our township board, and you, the parents of Meridian Township. It is number one on our list going forward. How do we improve pedestrian safety everywhere, but especially for our kids in front of the schools? And to learn more about what we're doing in collaboration with the schools and with the families, let's hear from Captain Bart Crane of the Meridian Township Police Department.
Hi, I'm Captain Bart Crane with the Meridian Township Police Department. I'm here to talk to you about some issues we've been having with pedestrians and pedestrian safety in the township. Unfortunately, we've had a couple events that have been unfortunate. The township and the police department is working together with road commission and community partners and school districts to try and increase those safety measures for all pedestrians in the township as they're crossing roadways or traveling to and from school. Some of those things that we're working on are looking at the signage that is in place at the different locations in the township, as well as increased presence from our officers, knowledge to parents and motorists in the area, as well as some of the children that are walking to and from school. I want to take a minute and talk to you about pedestrian safety. With all of these incidents we're having, some of them could be avoided by the pedestrians and some of them could be avoided by the motorists that are driving down the roads. To begin with, for pedestrian, if you are going to cross a road, please make sure that you're crossing at an appropriately marked crossing location. Remember, you are just a person with no protection as you're crossing that road. Your only protection is to be sure that the roadway is clear and that you're crossing in a safe location. Things to consider are the kind of clothes you're wearing, whether it's light out, whether it's dark out, crossing at those approved locations, making sure there's signage, just making sure that the road is clear. A good safety tip is to look left to make sure there's not a car coming left, look right to make sure there's not a car coming from the right, then look back to the left because that'll be the car closest to you or the lane closest to you before you go across the road. Always assume that there's a car coming and don't just go out into traffic. If you're driving down the road as a motorist, want to keep these same kind of things in mind. Somebody could step out of you at any time. Always be prepared. Put your phone away. Don't have your phone in your hands. Try and limit the distractions that are in your car. I've seen a lot of people driving with their little dogs in their laps. Please don't do that. It distracts you from what you're doing and what you need to be doing to pay attention to keep our roads safe. Thank you.
Now some happy but sad thoughts. As time rolls on, so we come with retirements. An upcoming retirement for Luann Maisner. Luann Maisner, who hails from Muskegon, has spent the last 24 years leading our Parks and Recreation Department. In fact, she's been the only person. She was the first and only. She came to us 24 years ago and has done a fabulous job. Look around and you see the improvements at Towner Road Park and Wanch Park, the Marketplace on the Green, the Harris Nature Center, the Historical Village, and the list goes on of improvements that Luann, along with the Parks Commission, along with her talented staff, and along with the Township Board. Really a great collaborative effort over the last 2 decades to make Meridian Township's parks and trail system the best in the state. And it really is. And there'll be plenty of opportunities to thank Luann as we move forward, especially on December 21st when we host her retirement party. But I just want to publicly thank Luann Maisner for all of her work, her dedication, and loyalty to the township. You know, she's left her footprints throughout the community, and we're all better because of it. So if you get a chance, thank Luann. We really appreciate her, and we'll always be hold her in high esteem for what she's done for Meridian Township. So that wraps up our first edition of Good Morning Meridian. I hope you've enjoyed this segment and look forward to future segments. Because one of the top 3 goals of the township this year, the township board has said, let's enhance our communication with residents. So what have they done? They've went out and held listening sessions throughout the community, from Bennett Woods to Raya School, to Donnelly, to Cornell, to the fire station. The township board's been all over the township, and they basically have given up their September, October, November to hear from the community. Nearly 300 residents have attended the listening sessions to date, and we've received a lot of information from you, and we appreciate that. Coupled with the listening sessions and this new news effort through Good Morning Meridian will enhance our communication with the residents as we go forward. So thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us at Meridian Township. Thank you.